Mark, we can't start anywhere else other than Trevor Horsley, really.
Yeah.
What memories do you have of him, perhaps going back to your playing days here?
Yeah, some good memories of Trevor. He was the chairman when I came as a player. Obviously a fellow Leeds fan. Yeah, and he was he ran the club from top to bottom really, and spent a lot of times on KB coaches, with Kendo having a fag out the front window, Trevor having a fag out the back window, and on trips up and down the country, really enjoyable times. And he was a really good man, Trevor, and like I say, he did really well for the football club. Sad.
Do you see comparisons in the way Dale is running the club now compared to the way Trevor ran it in your playing days, albeit the characters are different?
Totally different characters, definitely. But they both want the best for the club. You know, they both putting their money where their mouth is, and helping to fund the club. And yeah, but Trevor was a nice guy. He was in my office up until a week ago, watching before the game, or 2 weeks ago before the games, and you know, he'd make him a cup of tea, you know, and then Dale would come in and have a chat, and yeah, just a real sad thing, but you know, a great man, and he'll go down in the history of the football club.
The next home game is going to be quite emotional with that minute's applause at the start, isn't it?
Yeah, I think most people that come to Forest Green will have had some brush with Trevor, and it is right that we honour him. He did so much for the football club, and it wouldn't be where he is. It wouldn't be where it is now if it wasn't for him.
So Saturday you go to Port Vale. John Askey's not been there that long. Has he changed very much?
Didn't get off to the best of starts, but they've run into a bit of form. You know, Tom Pope's not been playing, so they've been playing with Ricky Miller and up down the middle, and they've been a bit different to what they are usually. They usually get a lot of balls forward to Pope, who's brilliant in the air. He's the best in the air in the league, but they've had to play a bit more because they've not got that sort of physical presence. And they've done really well. They played really well against Mansfield and beat them, and they beat Yeovil, and then they got a good point away at Swindon. So they're on a good little run. Be a tough game. It always is at Vale Park, a massive pitch, and but it's one we're looking forward to.
With Pope potentially being injured, at least Miller is a known quantity to you. You've had some brushes with him in the past, haven't you?
Yeah, it can be an exciting player on his day, Ricky. Left foot, wants to get on his left foot at every opportunity and try and get a shot off. So we'll have to be on our guard, certainly.
That wide pitch, does that make it easier to, or does it encourage a system with width?
It encourages you to try and pass the ball, because if you keep booting it long, then you're going to have to chase after it. So it encourages you to try and condense the spaces between the players and condense the gaps between the units so that your pitch coverage is good.
Just watching you last Saturday, you did look a bit frustrated on a couple of occasions. Was that because the tempo wasn't as you wanted? It was more measured than snappy, perhaps?
Yeah, first and foremost, it was really difficult with the weather. But we didn't play with the same intensity we did against Colchester, and which was a really good performance. We were a bit slack with our possession, a bit loose. Overall, we were poor, and we look at it as a really good point, because it stops Carlisle going above us. It keeps us sixth in League Two, and keeps us in a good position. 8
points behind the top three, 8 games to play. Is that close enough?
You can never say never, can you? If we win every game, then you'd have a chance of getting in the top 3 places, possibly. But listen, we just always, like I say, we're looking at Saturday and 3 points to hopefully get a gap between us and 8th place.
We'd be north of 80 if you won all 8.
Yeah, there you go. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? What an achievement that'd be.
Just lastly, the EFL have said today that the transfer window in August may be 31st of August for Leagues 1 and 2 and 8th of August for the Championship, so a split policy. Do you think that's the right move for the League 1 and 2 clubs?
I've got no interest in that, Ian, at the minute at all, because that's August, and that's something that I will digest come towards the end of the season. And our head of recruitment, Rich, will be fully on that.
Thank you.
Well, you said the other week you had 11 players at it against Colchester, not so many against Carlisle. Does that give you a selection dilemma this weekend?
Not really, because we haven't got that many fit players, to be honest. We've got we've got a small squad, but the ones that have not been playing, have they done enough to push the ones that are in the team? I'm not so sure. I also want to try and get a bit of consistency with the system and with the team going into the last kind of 8 games.
Because I imagine at the end of the day, while it was fantastic 3 points against Colchester, in hindsight, or looking back on it, it was quite a good point against Carlisle.
Yeah, one of our best performances this season was away at Carlisle. Played really well, but when we came here on Saturday, we didn't. But we didn't get beat, you know, and that's the key. We've got to pick up as many points as we can between now and 4th or 5th of May, is it? And 8 games, and make sure we're up in that top 7 if we can.
Yeah. How's Christian Doidge's mindset at the moment? Are you having to put an arm around him, or is he a top pro and just getting on with everything?
He's a top pro. He is a top pro, but I think when that kind of scenario happens to you, it's difficult to know how you'd react unless you've been in it. For somebody to take away a life-changing opportunity in terms of finance and enter into an agreement with you and then pull it away is very difficult for him, as it is with the football club, you know. So, but the chairman's dealing with that, and we'll know more at a later date. But Christian, like I say, is a top pro. At some point he has to get his head together. As much as we want to put our arm around him and try and look after him, it is going to come down to him showing everybody that he's going to do what he's going to do to get back where he thinks he should be.
Right, yeah. You say a few injuries and a few bumps and bruises. Is it going to be a struggle to get that?
No.
17?
No, we should be all right. But it's, you know, Lee Collins won't make it from the weekend. Mills has got a little bit of a strain. Shepherd's got a bit of a strain. So we have to see what it is. But whatever team we put out, I fully expect us to be committed and show the real desire that's needed to get 3 points.
Yeah. What sort of style do you expect from Port Vale on Saturday?
I think they'll come out. They're in good form. I think they'll press and they'll and get after us. You know, they'll probably think that they can get after us and score some goals. So I think they'll have a right go at it.